Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. My video today is going to be a follow-up video on one I did a couple weeks ago on the different leathers of Louis Vuitton, namely the Epi, the Empreinte, and the Monogram Vernis. So if you're interested in that, you could check out my channel list. The name of my channel is Meet Penelope, in case you're here for the first time. And I do videos on handbags, luxury items, shoes, sometimes fashion. So if that's something you're interested in, please think about subscribing to my channel. So for today, as I mentioned, it's a little bit of a follow-up video. Instead of the leathers, today I'm going to be talking about the canvases that Louis Vuitton uses. And of course, most people are familiar with these. They are definitely iconic. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Monogram canvas. There's also the Damier canvas in the Ébène, which is the brown. And then, of course, there is the Damier Azur as well. So I'm going to start with the Monogram because it's probably the most recognizable. I only have one handbag in this pattern. It's not necessarily my favorite pattern. I find it a little bit busier than the others. I kind of like the check just for my eye. I don't know, it's just a little bit more appealing for me. But again, everybody's taste is different. And I tend to go for something a little bit more understated. And like I said, I find this one to be a little more logo heavy, if you will. So, but anyway, I do like it. I do think it is very, very pretty. And on this particular handbag, which is the Tivoli, which has been discontinued, they no longer make this. I thought that the whole combination of the shape of the bag with these beautiful pleats on it, highlighting the LVs in the middle there and the flowers, I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. So this is my one and only piece that it is in the Monogram, and I do really love it. All of these canvases, the Damier Azur, the Ébène, and the Monogram are going to be the same basic fabric. It's a coated canvas, which is really waterproof. Louis Vuitton invented it himself about, I guess, like 100 years ago or so. Specifically to be waterproof and very durable for luggage and boxes and things like that. So as you can see, I could scratch this with my nails or most light things all day long, and it's just not going to scratch. It's not really going to get dirty. You can wipe it clean with a nice soft cloth, maybe a baby wipe, or even just you know, soap and a washcloth. So it's not going to be anything that requires a great deal of maintenance. However, most of the bags, I would say probably all of the bags, are trimmed with some sort of leather. So the Monogram is going to come with the vachetta leather, which is right here on this bag. This bag is very heavy on vachetta leather. You can see we've got the chaps, the handle, this whole seam, and these little badges on each side. And the vachetta leather, when it is brand new, is this beautiful cream color, like the color of heavy cream when you put it in a glass. And eventually it changes over time. So it will be like a whitish color, and it does have sort of these this reddish brown glazing on the sides. But I would consider this, and what I kind of call it, is raw leather, the vachetta, because it doesn't really have any protection on it. It's not colored with anything, and it is going to scratch very easily. It will show your scratches. It will show any watermarks. It will show dirt from your hands and oils and things like that. So over time, it's going to get this golden color, which is considered the patina. It's inevitable. There's really nothing you can do to stop it. I know people try to protect the leather and kind of keep it white. That may work for a little while, but eventually it is going to change color. So if you're not really a big fan of this golden patina, you probably don't want to get a bag that has the vachetta on it, because like I said, it's inevitable. It's just going to change color. But this particular bag, I think the vachetta aged like this with this patina is absolutely beautiful. I think this bag is probably one of my all-time favorite bags from Louis Vuitton. I just love it. There's just something about it, the shape of it and the look of it, that really makes me happy. I love this bag, and I highly recommend the canvas. I have to say that these canvases are, you get them, when you first get them, they are a little bit stiffer. However, they do soften up. They have some body to them, but at the same time, they're going to be a little bit softer, so eventually, so that they're not going to be real stiff. And this here is my Neverfull, and you can see it's sort of bendy, and it doesn't really crease. Haven't really had any issues with overall scratching or anything. So The canvases themselves are very durable, and they're meant to be very durable, and that's probably why Louis Vuitton is so famous and so sought after and has been for so many, many years because of the quality of the materials. So this is just a basic overview of my monogram. Let me get into the damier ébène. Now the damier ébène, as you can see clearly, is a brown check. So we've got the dark brown squares with the light brown squares, and those dark brown squares are pretty comparable to the background brown on the monogram. Overall, this one is a little more subtle than the monogram canvas. It does have a couple little squares that say Louis Vuitton on them, but in general, if people don't know designer handbags, they might not recognize this as a Louis Vuitton, although nowadays I think it's becoming more and more popular. But the significant thing about the damier ébène is that it does not usually have the vachetta on it. Instead, it has the colored leather. As you can see here, this is a dark brown leather. It has been treated and colored, and it is pretty much indestructible. You can't really scratch it very easily. It's not going to get any watermarks on it. It's not going to get dirty from your hands. It's just super, super durable. So for me, for this particular bag, this tote bag, I thought it was the perfect choice, and I've had this bag for quite a number of years now, maybe like 7 or 8 years, I think. I take it to work every single day. I throw everything but the kitchen sink in it, and it really has stood the test of time. So the canvas itself is super durable, and this darker colored leather on the damier ébène is a real slam dunk. You can't beat it. Now the last of the 3 canvases is the damier azur, which is probably my personal favorite. I'm a sucker for blue. I love blue. And this, as you can see, is blue and white squares. Now the blue is actually, if you look really closely, it's actually navy blue, but because it has these little white lines in it, it sort of lightens the color and makes it a little bit softer, so it's not a real harsh checkerboard pattern, it's more of a subtle checkerboard pattern. And this too has the little Louis Vuittons here and there. So the basic difference between this azur and this ébène, besides the color, is going to be that your azur is probably going to have the vachetta leather on it. As you can see here, now this bag is not very old. It's, I don't know, a couple months old. I got it in the summertime. And I'll try to get a comparison here. The Tivoli, on the other hand, is quite a bit older. So this has started to turn and get that patina on it, and this is already the golden color that most of the bags turn. So between the lighter color of the canvas and the vachetta leather, of the 3 options in canvas, I would say that this requires a little bit more care than the rest. I have heard that this canvas sometimes yellows, which is inevitable because of the cream colored background. And then of course you do have the vachetta that you have to kind of take a little bit of care of because it is going to patina. If you don't like the patina, again, you might want to choose another option. But the damier azur for me is typically a summertime bag. I like the lighter color, and I feel that it's really fresh for spring and summer. These particular bags will also have different linings, just like the ébène will. So this one has a pink lining. It's called Rose Ballerine. It is also offered in a darker pink. I believe there is beige for the azur choice, and for the damier ébène choice you have some reds. My bag has a red lining, as you can see right here, but there's also a pink that's available, the light pink and the dark pink. So Louis Vuitton is playing around with different linings now, and I love it because I love a good lining. Like, I always feel like it's a little surprise in there. You know, your bag is sort of basic and sort of neutral color, and then when you open it up, you have that surprise of the bright lining, and it just really makes me smile. I love that. Now, any of your SLGs, which are your small leather goods, they are not going to be lined with canvas like the bags are. These are lined with leather, probably just to make them more durable. And again, these have options as well. So this is a red interior, but I also have a damier ébène key holder, which has the pink interior. So that's just another one of the different options. And the last thing to talk about with these canvases is that in recent years, Louis Vuitton has been matching some colored leathers with the monogram So you may see if you go on your website that there are new bags. In particular, the one that caught my eye was the Tuileries, which has different colored leather trim, so you can get a combination of the Monogram canvas with maybe some navy blue trim on the top, and then you'll have like a red or a white strap. And so the color combinations of the leathers that they incorporate added to the monograms are really fresh and pretty and something new and creative that I really like. Now, unfortunately, the prices are going up as well, but I think that's across the board with designer bags. I've noticed that more and more bags are in the thousands and, you know, $2,000, $3,000, which a couple years ago was kind of unheard of. So with that said, you know, with the price increase and everything, at least there are going to be different products for you, and maybe you can make it a little bit more personal with respect to what color choices as far as the leather goes, and also as far as your linings go. So you do have a lot of options, but these bags are extremely durable, extremely hard wearing, like you really don't have to take a lot of care of them, and they look good for years and years and years. This bag is probably, I think it's about 6 years old or so, and I would say that other than the color of the vachetta leather, no one would really know how old that is. And of course the leathers, my epi leather is something that is 16 or 17 years old now, and that has been as good as new. So that is it for the canvas comparison. I hope it was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again very soon with my next video. Take care.